Hey friends, I'm joining you from Mammoth, where I've started my hiatus for the end of the year. And as I'm thinking about the end of the year, there's so much talk about resolutions and just like making big changes and fresh starts for the new year. But studies have actually shown how resolutions typically fizzle out, and that impacts our sense of confidence and self-esteem. What's better than resolutions are reflections. Reflections take a different approach. They encourage us to slow down and think about the highs and lows of the past year and get really clear on what truly matters to you. Reflection is a powerful and effective tool, and it can be used after any experience, not just thinking about what's coming next in the next calendar year. So I've put together an exercise that I call the Great Journal Jam, and you might remember that I've invited you to attend the live version of this exercise, but many of you were not able to make it, so I'm sharing it with you today so I can guide you through reflecting on where you've been, where you are now, and what you want to create for the year ahead. It's really a chance to step into 2025 with clarity and purpose without any of the stress of trying to keep up with really rigid goals. Hey everyone, I'm Laverne McKinnon, and welcome to the Moonshot Mentor podcast. I'm a certified career coach and a grief recovery specialist, and I love to help ambitious-driven people feel confident and empowered after experiencing a career setback. Whether it's from feeling stuck in a tough period or frustration from slow progress, I offer up tools and resources to help you meet your full potential. Okay, let's jump in. So, the start of a new year. It can come with a lot of pressure to create new habits and big plans. Now, ever since I was a kid, I would make resolutions and I would promise myself how I would do things differently and better. And then typically somewhere around mid-February, I would lose steam and I would abandon ship. Of course, this would make me feel really bad about myself. And then I would make a resolution to be better about resolutions next year. What a nutty cycle. Until I learned to reflect rather than resolve. So reflection, as I said, is a powerful tool. It helps you to understand what you've learned and what really matters to you. It creates space to recognize what's working and what's not. And sometimes what we find is that we've been stepping on our values, or we've lost sight of our purpose. Or sometimes our priorities have shifted and we're not even fully conscious of that. So resolutions have a rigidity to them. They can feel black and white, and they demand grit and perfection. Studies have shown that resolutions ultimately don't help us move forward, and they can deplete our resiliency. So I've crafted this journaling exercise, the Great Journal Jam, to help you reflect rather than make resolutions. I use 3 of my favorite poems to set up the prompts, but before I walk you through the exercise, I want to take a quick, close look at resolutions versus reflection. So why do resolutions tend to fizzle out? 3 reasons. First, they don't go deep. Resolutions are usually about what you want to do, exercise more, eat better, work smarter, but they don't really dig into why it's important to you. And without a why, it's hard to stay motivated when things get messy. Second, willpower will only get you so far, and willpower runs out. And when it does, resolutions tend to fall apart. So taking time to understand yourself can make habits stick in a way that just simple willpower just can't. Third, resolutions are all or nothing. So let's say you miss one day going to the gym and you think, well, I guess the week is ruined. Okay, that's actually me, not you. But that's the problem here, is that it's so black and white that it doesn't leave room for progress over perfection. So why do reflections feel better? Looking back at an experience or the calendar year with curiosity and grace, well, it can uncover things you didn't even realize were there. Curiosity creates a healthy boundary to keep judgment at bay so you can lean into assessment. With curiosity, you might then be able to spot patterns, figure out what actually makes you happy, or see what's been holding you back. 2 of the biggest epiphanies I had in reflecting on 2024 was that I have a pattern of underestimating how much time writing assignments take. And when faced with uncertainty, I get really busy doing things. Really anything just to regain a sense of control. So as a result, I've been stepping on my values of excellence and listening. So by not scheduling enough time for my creative work, I've submitted writing which wasn't fully developed. And by not slowing down to listen to myself when the future is not clear, I was making impulsive choices like spending time to clean my closet, seriously, or organizing emails rather than sitting with my discomfort so that I could learn to make decisions from a place of values. I was just trying to escape feeling bad about uncertainty. So these reflections are helping me to shape 2025 and get clear on my top 3 professional priorities. So for 2025, I'm going to finish writing my nonfiction book about grief in the professional realm. I'm going through a major rebranding process, and I'm going to work on growing my socials to help support the book when it launches. Okay, to that end, after today's post, I'm actually going to take a 2-week hiatus to rest and further reflect, and then I'll be back with regularly scheduled programming on Monday, January 20th. Okay, let's jump into the Great Journal Jam. The prompts are divided into 3 sections: the past, the present, and the future. And after each prompt, I suggest you pause the recording and give yourself a minimum of 3 minutes to write. A pro trick that I use is to not edit myself. Whatever comes up is what I write down, even if it's something like, "This is a stupid prompt." Okay, we're going to start with reflecting on the past. This is a poem by Mary Oliver. It's called Wild Geese, and it's one of my favorites. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert, repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. So your first journal prompt is, as you reflect on 2024, what is your despair, if any? And now go ahead and pause the recording and come back in 3 minutes or more. Second journal prompt. What truths about yourself have emerged like the wild geese finding their way home? What have you discovered about your inner landscape and the soft animal of your body loving what it loves during 2024? Journal prompt number 3. What burdens or despair do you need to release, like the sun moving across the landscape, and what do you want to hold on to as your place in the family of things? Journal prompt number 4. What word, phrase, or metaphor reflects 2024, and why? Okay, now we're going to move into 4 journal prompts to reflect on the present. But first, a poem. This is called The Deer by Ama Kajo. Walking alone in a forest, I came upon a deer. This was not a vision. It faced me on its 4 thin legs, unmoved as a cave painting brushed by light. I made myself still. I spoke to it, softly. I can't remember what I said. The deer regarded me as a god would, eased by my astonishment. Then slowly, I moved closer, and the deer did not run. By now, you know it was love I walked toward, not the deer, but what hung in the space between us. I know it was love because as I held my breath, the deer took a few steps toward me before bounding into the camouflage of branches and leaves. Journal prompt number 5. What hangs in the space right now? Journal prompt number 6. Be still. Speak to yourself softly. Get a little closer. What astonishing qualities do you see in yourself? Journal prompt number 7. What is love? How do you love yourself? How do you love others? How do you walk towards love? Journal prompt number 8. What word, phrase, or metaphor reflects where you are right now and why? And now our final 4 journal prompts are to reflect on the future. And with this, A poem by Rainer Maria Wilke. You see, I want a lot. You see, I want a lot. Perhaps I want everything. The darkness that comes with every infinite fall and the shivering blaze of every step up. So many live on and want nothing, and are raised to the rank of prince by the slippery ease of their light judgments. But what you love to see are faces that do work and feel thirst. You love most of all those who you need as they need a crowbar or a hoe. You have not grown old, and it is not too late to dive into your increasing depths where life calmly gives out its own secret. Journal prompt number 9. As you consider 2025, what do you want a lot? Journal prompt number 10. What is not too late? What is your secret desire that's ready to blossom in the new year? Journal prompt number 11. What depths will you be drawing upon to make your dreams come true? And journal prompt number 12. What word, phrase, or metaphor reflects your vision for 2025 and why? Before we fully wrap up our great journal jam with the final quote, I want to express my gratitude for you being here, for your support, your feedback, and the awesome questions. It's really made 2024 a highlight for me. You can always find ways to work with me at moonshotmentor.com, including groups for creators and producers that are starting up in January. And a very big thank you to Lynn Chen for the video and audio editing. You can find her at mslynnchen.com. And now, to complete our great journal jam of 2024, a final quote. You were born with wings. Why prefer to crawl through life? Thank you, and Happy New Year.